Hello from Magic Kingdom. I'm here at about 5 o'clock in the afternoon to have an evening at the park. It's actually 5 o'clock exactly, and why that is very relevant information. Oh, that looks busy today. It's a not party day, so it's going to be very busy. Why that's important is I really wanted to go to Tom Sawyer Island today, which closes at 6 p.m. So I decided to walk rather than wait for the next tram to Magic Kingdom, and then I'll be taking the monorail and hopefully make it into Magic Kingdom and then all the way back to Frontierland. I just ran into this cone right there and I pretended like I didn't. But I really want to make it to Tom Sawyer Island before it closes. I don't know when they send the last raft, but hopefully I'll be on it. Alright, so I made it through security, and I believe that that is the monorail that I'm going to be taking into Magic Kingdom. I could take the ferry boat, but I think the tram is going to be a much faster alternative. And I should know this because I literally did a transportation experiment where I tested every single method of getting to Magic Kingdom and which one was the fastest. So that last monorail I pulled in and then pretty much immediately left. So I will be on this monorail to take it over to Magic Kingdom, but I should still be good on time. Okay, so we're pulling into the station right now. It doesn't seem that busy outside, which is hopefully good heading into the park. I'm staying until fireworks tonight, ideally. Alright, so I made it to Magic Kingdom and I'm heading inside and then directly to Frontierland. It is about 5:30 right now, so it took me pretty much 30 minutes to make it from the front entrance, the Toll Plaza entrance, to Magic Kingdom, which is not terrible. So now hopefully I can just head over to the rafts in Frontierland and I'll be able to go and at least walk around for like 15 minutes, probably. After I do Tom Sawyer Island, I can relax a little bit, but that's really the only bookend that I had to today's experience, that and then Enchantment too. I was a little bit intimidated to come into Magic Kingdom on a non-party day just due to the crowds, but hopefully I'll be able to manage. It's not terrible as of yet, but it'll probably get pretty intense later on. One recent change is that Crystal Palace reopened with characters. It's been open, but the 100 Acre Wood characters are finally back at Crystal Palace. It's hopefully an experience to have breakfast back at Crystal Palace. It will happen at some point in the future. It's one of our favorite places to get breakfast. Another development I'm pretty sure is that certain restaurants are actually selling cocktails now, like alcoholic cocktails. This is also vibrating right now, my Magic Band Plus. I did not really charge it that much. The intention was to bring it for Enchantment, so if it lasts until Enchantment, that'll be cool. Okay, so I've made it to Frontierland, and it looks like I'm following the riverboat. The Tom Sawyer Island rafts always have to yield to the right-of-way for the riverboat just because it is much bigger, but I should be able to get on, I'm assuming the next raft over to Tom Sawyer Island. So it looks like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is closed right now, but it might be opening up soon. But I've made it to at least the raft for Tom Sawyer Island, and I'll probably be on that one. Okay, so we are pulling away from the dock. I wanted to say port. We're pulling away from the dock over to Tom Sawyer Island. I am going to have about 15 minutes, I think, to run around the island before I'll have to get back onto a raft to head back over to the mainland. This is a very beautiful time of day to head over to Tom Sawyer Island, and I do understand why they had to close a little bit earlier, but I wish that it stayed open later. Just a nighttime experience at Tom Sawyer Island, that would be incredible. And I've made it to Tom Sawyer Island, and I'm going to head to Fort Langhorne before they close that bridge. Tom Sawyer Island is one of my absolute favorite locations to explore and walk around, and the reason that I'm here today is due to recent D23 announcements. Nothing specific was announced that would majorly impact Tom Sawyer Island, but it might at some point, probably in the very far future. So really no need to worry right now, but I just wanted to come to Tom Sawyer Island just because, from what I understand, a lot of what was announced wouldn't necessarily impact Tom Sawyer Island. It could, but will most likely impact the back of Frontierland, sort of connecting Big Thunder Mountain to Liberty Square, which I'm more than okay with that, but if it impacted Tom Sawyer Island, that would be quite detrimental to me personally if this inevitably closed. I thought the Big Thunder Mountain was going to open back up, but it's not open yet. But once it does, it'll probably be a little bit busy back over here, but after I go here to Tom Sawyer Island, to the Fort Langhorne, and then back over to the rafts, I'm a little bit out of breath. I'm gonna get some dinner. It's pretty particularly quiet over here right now, which is definitely a good reason to come to Tom Sawyer Island, I guess, right before it closes. So allegedly, at D23, it was proposed, it was not announced, but it was suggested and implied and I guess somewhat teased that they have been thinking about potentially, possibly doing some sort of an expansion back here behind Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, beyond Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Logistically, it's interesting to think about how they would accomplish that, just sort of connecting, presumably connecting Frontierland with Liberty Square, just the lands that they've not even announced. It was just a blue sky concept, implying that if they had the financial resources and budget allocated to be able to do whatever they wanted what they would do with this area, which I have incredible nostalgia for Tom Sawyer Island in particular, so if this wasn't impacted at all, then that would be definitely ideal for me, specifically. Okay, I'm heading up into the Rifle Roost to get a more aerial perspective. That's a term that I like to use a lot, but it's accurate. I do like to be up high and just see what I can see from higher up. I almost tripped. There's a pretty significant amount of real estate that could very easily be taken advantage of back over here in Frontierland. Just all this area that goes pretty much around the park and again connects over to Liberty Square, which that's sort of bookended by the Haunted Mansion. So I can definitely hear Big Thunder Mountain testing right now, which I'm pretty tempted to go and ride that after I do what I want to do here, which is just to walk around the island. Honestly, I don't really have many plans. I do want to get some dinner though at Pecos Bill. Let's see if I can try to time this when a train comes by. I don't go to this Rifle Roost that often, but it does give one of the best views of Thunder Mountain Railroad right outside. Does it work still? It definitely does work. I definitely heard a testing, but I have not seen a train come by in a minute, so I should probably go ahead and head back to the rafts because it is 6 o'clock now, so the island is closed. There is a gun that is just continually shooting off up here in this Rifle Roost. I think it's this one. Stop! Maybe not. Oh, I did it. I helped. Right? I love these roosts up here. It's sort of interesting that they still have guns that can be accessible and used. Okay, so I'm heading back downstairs and I am heading, I guess, towards the dock. Now I was going to take the escape tunnel, but they've started to clear the island. There goes the Liberty Bell right there. And still have not seen another train come by for Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. If it's open and there's no line when I make it back over to the mainland, the main part of Disney World, Magic Kingdom, then I might do it. Right over here's where the escape tunnel lets out, and I just wanted to get another perspective of how much land is actually in between Frontierland and Liberty Square. There's a lot. They could definitely do quite a substantial expansion if they really wanted to commit to that. The expansion that was proposed, not even proposed or announced, but just considered, I suppose, were an Encanto, a Coco, and then a Villains themed land. I'd mostly be interested to see how they would blend the lands and connect a Villains land, a Coco land, and an Encanto land in one particular order. That would make sense. Just that transition from Liberty Square, over by the Haunted Mansion, and then over to Thunder Mountain Railroad. I don't know why I took the Barrel Bridge, so I'm interested to see if they open up Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, because if they do, and I'm right here, I will definitely ride it, but if not, then I'll definitely grab some dinner from Pecos Bill, because they have a little snack there that I've been curious about. I would eat here, because this would be the coolest place ever to eat all the time consistently, but they just won't open it. They're doing an island clear right now, so I should just be able to head right around the corner and then back over the dock to take that to, I keep calling this the mainland. What would you call this area? Just Magic Kingdom? Just the main area of Magic Kingdom? I consider bringing some food for a little picnic, because I love doing that in Tom Sawyer Island, but I'll have to do that next time, probably, because I just wanted to make sure that I could actually get here and go to the island before it closed, and I did. Hooray! Looks like this will be my rafts, and they are testing Big Thunder Mountain, so it should be opening up soon, I'd assume. That was definitely one of the quicker trips that I've taken to Tom Sawyer Island, and it does look like they just opened up the line for Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, so I think I'm going to ride that. There goes the ferry boat on the other side of Tom Sawyer Island, and I know that we get a pretty nice idea of the land that they have to work with in between Frontierland and Liberty Square if I rode that. Seriously, how is that for timing that I get off of the rafts? I believe the final rafts from Tom Sawyer Island, and this just reopened. It looks like it's posting a 30-minute wait right now, but I doubt it. It might end up being a pretty lengthy wait with the amount of lightning lane that'll probably be coming back soon. It's sort of interesting there's no water running right now through the queue, which is somewhat odd. It's a little bit quiet. See, now there's a lot of people coming through lightning lane right now that probably had a return time when it was down, so that might build up a little bit. This is so they extended the queue pretty much in its entirety, so that might be the majority of the wait time. It's just heading down to the coaster. This is pretty exciting though. See, look, there's literally nobody on that train right there because they opened it up that recently. But there should just be like a 5-minute walk on. Yep, they have the entire queue extended right now, just heading out of the platform, but there's really nobody in line. There will be in just a minute though. Well, how is that? I feel so lucky right now. That was just perfect timing. Okay, so I'm going to try to adjust the aperture on this, so we'll see how that works out for me. So I wanted to adjust the aperture. Riding this ride, just all of the dark, and then suddenly very bright space of this. The camera just kind of freaked out a little bit. Ah! Woo! Whoa! Ah! This was. We're on Sawyer Island. Wow. Okay, not bad. Woo! There's still not really much of a lineup there, is there? Okay, so now I'm going to head over to, I guess, Pecos Bill. Get myself some tacos, or a taco. So in just about 10 minutes, I got in line and rode Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. That might have been the fastest that I've ever done that. I'm heading over to Nugget Way because the riverboat's about to come by. So I'm just trying to process the gravitas of a multi-land expansion behind Sawyer Island and just the investment of just time that would take. It would be so cool. Obviously, I always love when they make an addition to the parks rather than just kind of re-theme or redo a current attraction just to sort of fit in with synergy. So if they just added anything new, then that would be super cool to me. I do think that the potential of that is probably realistically very unlikely. That is a very, very ambitious concept, I think. It would be very cool, but again, it was mostly just sort of a tease. Hello, by the way, I've been just so invested in my time crunch today that I haven't even shown myself. So hi, I'm wearing a Happily Ever After shirt in celebration of the fact that Happily Ever After is coming back. I don't think it's coming back in the previous iteration that everybody knew it as, but it is coming back and replacing Enchantment, I think, in a year or so? Yes, so next year in 2023, Happily Ever After is returning, and I think the Hatbox Ghost is being added to Haunted Mansion, and what else is happening next year? Oh, Tron is allegedly opening finally, so that's cool, and then in 2024, Tiana's Bayou Adventure should be opening here in Frontierland. They still have not announced a closing time frame for this, but announcing an opening time frame for Tiana's has me slightly worried that it's not going to be that original of a re-theme. That is a very close window to completely close an attraction and then to open up a brand new attraction. The Briar Patch gift shop here is still closed, and it's pretty unlikely that it's going to be opening up. I'm imagining if they are going to be closing this ride very soon, probably maybe without a lot of warning. So from what I can tell, a lot of the exterior of Tiana's Bayou Adventure looks very similar to Splash Mountain with the exception of the log up there, and probably a lot of the interior scenes might be similar with the exception of just characters from Princess and the Frog being integrated into those show scenes. It's a very, very short window, and I'm nervous about that. I'm sure that they're going to do an incredible job, and they could have been developing it this entire time, and they just need that window to actually install it into the attraction, so maybe it will be completely different and a much better improvement. I'm excited nonetheless to see what they do with it. I'm sure that that's still quite a ways off before that's going to close, or maybe not, honestly. If it's opening in 2024 and we're almost at the end of 2022, it could be very, very soon. But now I'm heading to Pecos Bill. So what I'd like to get over here is something called the Walking Taco, I think. Alright, so I got my food. There's my Walking Taco, which you'll be able to see a little bit better once I go outside, and then I got some nachos on the side. I will forever be reminiscent and nostalgic about this bar that is no longer here anymore, this toppings bar for nachos. I don't know if there are any seats inside. I don't really see a lot, so I'm heading outside with my food. Hopefully I can have some luck out here. Alright, so I walked around the exterior of the restaurants, and I think this table is going to be me over here in the corner. So pretty much sitting just right next to Splash Mountain over here. So this is my Walking Taco, which has beef, beans, rice, and fajitas, I think, inside, and then it has the sides on the side. So lettuce, tomato, jalapenos, sour cream, and then chunky salsa. And then I decided to get some chips and some queso on the side, so that was an additional charge. And then what I brought from home I'm very excited about. I brought a Mountain Dew Baja Blast because what would go better with this food than this particular beverage? So I've assembled my walking taco, which is very hot, by the way. I think there was supposed to be cheddar in here, but I've not encountered cheddar quite yet, but I do have a lot of queso. And I think that I said that there were fajitas in here, I meant Fritos. This is interesting. I didn't know if this was going to be enough, which is why I got the nachos on the side, but now I'm questioning my choices because this is hefty. And I don't know why you would walk around with this, eating this. I could not imagine just getting in line for Space Mountain, just eating this walking taco, which is just, it is a mess in there right now. All right, so I'm all done with my walking taco. There was no cheddar, unfortunately, so I need to guess relations right now to demand a free hotel stay and a hug from Mickey Mouse and unlimited fast passes. Not really, but I'm heading over to Tomorrowland because as a Walt Disney World vlogger, it is absolutely imperative that I ride the People Mover and make noticeable commentation about Tron construction. Really, it has been a minute since I've gotten to ride the People Mover and see what Tron currently looks like right now, and with an opening time frame, it's a little bit more exciting. I'm also trying to get over there before the sun sets so I can actually see the Tron construction. Also, how cool is it? You can't even see it from here, but Haunted Mansion, getting the Hatbox Ghost, it's sort of like a subtle update, but a lot of people are very excited about it. I think that's what I'm the most excited about, is just attraction additions that are actual improvements and not even necessary. That's what I'm very proud of in Disney for actually adding something to an attraction. The hub has already started to get busy for the fireworks, which are going to be starting in about an hour and a half or so. What I would really like to see is there's a new addition to the beginning of Enchantments, and I'd really enjoy seeing that. We'll see if I'm able to get a spot once the fireworks get a little bit closer to starting, because I don't really want to wait an hour to stick at a spot for the fireworks. But if I can get as close as possible, that would be ideal, but we will see if that works out. Okay, so I'm heading into Tomorrowland to ride the People Mover, which it looks pretty busy over here, but the sun is probably going to set by the time that I make it over there. This is easily, objectively, just the most challenging and intimidating aspect of the non-party days, are how busy it gets with the fireworks. So I do sincerely doubt that I'll be able to make it over to Tomorrowland and then over to Tron before the sun sets, but maybe it'll be illuminated? Oh my god, it's like kind of illuminated. I don't think it's like fully illuminated, lit up, but it's blue. Pretty sure that they changed the sign over here. It used to be the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover, and now it's just the People Mover, or just People Mover. Okay, so the line's a little bit extensive right now, but it should move pretty quickly. Okay, so I made it onto the People Mover. There was a little bit of a backup, so the sun is now pretty much set, but I am very excited to see Tron, and here I go.
This is the TTA Blue Line, non-stop service around the world.
Okay, so I guess they still call it the TTA. There's a little glimmer of sun still over there. It's sort of hard to see, but I can already tell that there is an incredibly uncomfortable crowd in the hub. Oh no, look at all of those strollers down there.
Approaching Tomorrowland Speedway.
Tomorrowland Speedway. Yay, Tron! Look how cool this is. That is beautiful. I don't think I've gotten to record blue before. I think when we saw it before, when I recorded it was white. It's definitely subtle, but there is some legitimate work being done on the pathway just to lead up to Tron, and then the train station, which is going to go right here, presumably. This would have been great to see during the daytime, but it's still pretty cool. It's pretty subtle. You can sort of see the sun just barely still up. To your right, silhouetting the castle. I think the castle just became a beacon of magic while I was riding the People Mover. Oh no, it looks so busy over there. We'll see. If I'm not able to find a spot today, then I'm sure that I'll have an opportunity to come back at some point in the future. Without a doubt, though, my favorite part was just being able to see Tron illuminated blue. I don't know if that's the brightness that it will be when it opens. It wasn't testing tonight, but it was still pretty cool. Right as I say that it wasn't testing. I just saw testing. I just saw the car go by. Well, how do y'all like those apples? Alright, so I'm back on the ground, and I think I'm heading over to the Tomorrowland Speedway to ride that, just to see if I can see Tron Testing. This is the Merchant of Venus, which used to be the gift shop exit for Stitch's Great Escape, but now it is just a seating area for, I think, anti-gravities. Okay, so actually, never mind, it's a 25-minute wait right now, so I might come back to this a little bit later, maybe after the fireworks. I'm heading over to, I think, the circus. I have no idea the frequency of Tron Testing whatsoever, but I definitely saw it when I was pulling back into the People Mover station, so fingers crossed. I understand why, but it is just so busy tonight. A lot busier in places that I didn't anticipate it being busy. It's pretty cool. You can just see Tron leaving behind the Barnstormer back over here in the circus, just showcasing how big it actually is. Okay, so I'm walking alongside the queue for Barnstormer. Let's see if I can catch a testing from over here. Oh, I just heard it. There it goes right now. That was cool. That was very quiet. It's interesting because the canopy seems to like almost pulsate a little bit. It's sort of hard to see on camera for that. It was really, really interesting to see. Opening up in spring 2023, allegedly due to, or according to, D23, amongst other potential additions to Magic Kingdom at some point in the future. Still just waiting on the train to come back. Okay, so I'm a little bit blurry, but I'm waiting for Tron to come by again. It's been testing pretty regularly, so what I think I am going to do is head over to the Tomorrowland Speedway just to go and get in line. Before that, I heard it should be coming by in just a second. There it goes. Yeah, so I'm gonna go and get in line for Tomorrowland Speedway, just see what I can see from the Speedway, just to see what it looks like, mostly just illuminated and just being right underneath it. That would be really cool. I have about half an hour until the fireworks start now, and I'm definitely pretty nervous and trying to put that off as much as possible, but I'll see what I can see, if I can even head over to the hub or if it's just too busy. What I mostly want to see with Enchantment is, I believe, a tag that was added onto the beginning of Enchantment, just sort of an ode to Walt and Mickey, which is what a lot of people were really wanting back when Enchantment debuted, and they finally did it. Okay, so I might be waiting in line for a minute, so I decided to get myself an ice cream sandwich to bring in line with me over at Tomorrowland Speedway. Well, maybe not. I guess due to the fireworks, the line went down pretty significantly, so I have to finish this guy pretty quickly. I already took off one of his ears. Just look how cool that looks in the background. I love seeing this lit up. It just adds so much to Tomorrowland. This is great. This only took about 5 minutes or so, and hopefully it's still testing by the time that I drive over there. All right, off I go. Let's see if I can see Tron testing, hopefully, and then I can see if I can see the fireworks. One of the most challenging aspects about the Tomorrowland Speedway is that it hurts. Just to press the pedal down, it is not the most comfortable. I see it testing. That was so subtle. But I saw it. Okay, so I saw it testing from a distance. Let's see if I can get a little bit closer. Smacking all over the place. I want to slow down, but there are probably people behind me. Come on, Tron. Ah, there it is. I saw it. I saw it testing. I'm not watching where I'm driving. Okay, so I probably could have stopped at least for a second to see it testing, because there was quite a backup in front of me and there was nobody behind me, but it's okay because I got to see it testing in general, which was the point. Alright, so I made it off of the Speedway and now it's time to head back into the hub, or over to the hub, and experience the fireworks if I can. So this looks like a nice promising sign. We have cast members over here redirecting guests that want to watch the fireworks to head in this direction towards the hub, which of course makes sense because fireworks are in about, you can see that, it's in about 15 minutes. Uh-oh, so I'm pretty doubtful that I'm going to be able to get a really good spot for at least what they're doing. I haven't even seen it, to be honest, just I know that they've added something to the beginning of Enchantment. I think it's the beginning. Alright, heading towards the hub. Let's see what happens. I'm nervous. This is hard to make out on camera, but that's a sea of people right there. Okay, so we're going to stop just for a moment because they directed the crowd all the way down through the Main Street bypass because it was just that overwhelmingly busy. They blocked off every entrance into the hub. You can't stand here if you'd like to. It's a very obstructed view. This is the pathway that you would take to really just to get into the park on the hard ticketed event nights. Okay, so I've made it through the Main Street bypass. This is Tony's Town Square Restaurants. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to see the castle at all tonight. You can sort of see just the crowd jammed all the way back towards the train station back over there, and it's not much better over here. Just heading down Main Street by the Emporium. Okay, to try to see what I can do though in terms of trying to find some sort of a spot along Main Street. This crowd is absolutely packed right now. This is challenging. If I didn't want to see the Walt and Mickey section, I would have watched from behind the castle. So my Magic Band Plus is working, but I've decided to go and give up. Okay, so my camera keeps dying. I'm gonna go and head out of the park because I think I just admitted defeat. It is so busy tonight. So I'm probably gonna have to switch over to my phone because again, my camera keeps dying, but I'm heading back to the monorail and into the car. Look, you can see fireworks. I have not seen a crowd in years, so I'm not messing with that today. So I'm heading home. There's the fireworks happening right now. Just when my camera still has a little bit of battery. So I've made it off of the monorail, and it looks like the finale is happening behind me back at the park. My camera's dead, so this is definitely one of the most obvious reasons why to try to come to Magic Kingdom on party days, because you get a much better experience. You don't get to see the fireworks at all, but that crowd, I've never just like left the park like that because it's just been too busy and unmanageable. I did want to, I mean, the main reason was I really wanted to see just the beginning tag that they added on to enchantment, and I at least got to hear it. But when I kind of accepted that I was not going to be able to actually see it and give it the time of day that I really wanted to, I was like, I should probably get out of here because that crowd was incredible. And I was able to make it back to the TTC, I don't know, in like 5 to 10 minutes. So that was pleasant. But today I went to Magic Kingdom mostly, again, to try to see that tag. But then at the same time, I really wanted to like, just take what I heard from D23 and just sort of mentally place it at Magic Kingdom, and just in terms of both the announced and then the potential attractions that are going to be added to Magic Kingdom. I don't know. I just wanted to have an excuse to come back to Magic Kingdom, and then getting to see Tron Testing. That took up a lot more time than I anticipated, just running between the People Mover and Storybook Circus, and then back over to the Tomorrowland Speedway, just getting to see that. That was pleasant. So it was a great day, and then I got some dinner from Pecos Bill, and I got to have a Baja Blast, and even got a little ice cream sandwich for myself. So that was it. The finale is happening behind me, so this is the perfect time to say good night. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.